So here I am with another review of an affordable action camera. Now after owning and reviewing multiple action cameras like the SJ4000, Sena Prism Tube, GoPros and also the LE cams. Here I am today with an action camera which is indeed a GoPro killer because it has features which almost match the GoPro and price which is less than half of a entry-level GoPro. Now that is an SJ6 SJCam Legend. And here is the camera in my right hand. The SJ6 Legend. The first impressions, absolutely upmarket looking camera. Check this out. The fit and the finish is beautiful. And the unique selling propositions of this camera are, number one, you see here it has got a screen in the front also and not only in the rear. So this is a rear screen and this is a touch screen. And a touch screen for a camera like this is very important. The reason being that this has a ton of features, different settings. This shoots at 4K at 25 frames per second. And if you wish to switch between different resolutions, different modes like the still mode, video mode, time-lapse mode and whatnot, you can do it really quick using the touch screen. And not just is this a touch screen, but with the case you also get a touchscreen back. This is a waterproof back. You can take this off and put a touchscreen back and the touchscreen can be operated with the case closed also. So that makes this camera kind of where it can be used in dusty conditions and water resistant and also shock proof when it's inside the case. And another feature which I absolutely love and I have been wishing for a long time that every action camera in the market should have, that is, which I've always loved on my GoPro session, that is one button record mode. Yes, I mean these cameras are action cameras. We use them when you're riding a motorcycle, driving a car or surfing, doing real fast action adventure stuff. Now if you have to press two buttons, that is, if in case you have to press the start button which we generally have here and then the trigger button, that is just too much to do. It takes time and it takes effort to switch on the camera and start recording. So we should only have one button where you press it and the camera starts recording. Of course this camera has it. It is called one button start. It's optional but I love it. Keep it pressed and here we go. Camera turns on and you see the numbers rolling now. It has automatically started recording and I'll also record the man who is filming this. It is Pratik from Tectonic Reviews. And probably I'll give the camera to Pratik also to do a critical review about it. Okay? Coming back to the topic. So this is a beautiful thing and also because it has a secondary screen, the best part is that we don't only have to depend on the LEDs because most of the cameras only have LEDs, and if we have this camera mounted onto our helmet, then we'll have to look in the rear view and depend on the LED and know if the camera is recording or not. When you have this camera mounted onto your helmet, what you can do is you can just look at this camera in the rear view mirrors and you can see the numbers rolling, you can see the battery and you can see a ton of information. So that gives you the confirmation that you are not going to miss out on some important footage. awesome thing which I love, which this camera has, that is built-in image stabilization. Yes, many of us have witnessed that when we have a camera mounted onto our motorcycle, and if we are on a bumpy road, or if we are holding the action camera and are moving, then we see the shaking footage, right? Shaky footage, which we don't really like so much. And most of the time it's unavoidable. We can't do much. We either have to take the footage, put it into a software editor, video editor software, and then do the stabilization, which is a huge task. But this thing has an inbuilt video stabilization, and it has modes, whether you can put it to high or regular mode. Basically, image stabilization is a very high-end feature which almost professional cameras and also cameras like the A6500 Sony have. And what it does is, there is an inbuilt stabilizer, either a 3-axis stabilizer or a 5-axis stabilizer, which stabilizes the sensor. So generally, if you don't have image stabilization, when you move your hand, the footage also moves along with it. When you have image stabilization, what it does is, the axis, if you all of a sudden pull the camera down, the sensor would not go down with the same speed. It would stay here and gradually come down. For example, if any one of you have ever used a gimbal, then a gimbal is a handheld thing where you can go shoot footage. You will notice it. If in case you move down, the camera will not move down immediately on a gimbal. It will take time. It makes it graceful and smooth. So that is image stabilization feature which this camera has. But there is a small downside to it. That is, when I put image stabilization on and when I set it to high, what was happening is that the footage was losing a bit of sharpness. It was not as sharp as I wanted it to be. But again, that's still absolutely all right, because if you put your video into a software and then do image stabilization, even there you would lose the sharpness to some extent. Now about the most important thing, that is the battery, without which a camera is of no use. So this one has a 1000 mAh battery, which is down here, which is removable, which is a great news because you can buy more batteries and keep swapping them when you are on the move. But I'm not 100% happy. I'm about 85 or 90% happy. The reason being that when I was shooting with a fully charged battery, I was expecting I would get at least about 1.5 hours of footage, but that was not the case. I think I got about 1 hour 20 minutes of footage or something like that. I will recheck it. I'll do more testing on it. I'm not being judgmental right now because I've only used the battery to full length in one go once. So I will do more testing and I'll update you on this. But again, 1 hour 20 minutes is not bad either.
You have to go inside or no?
How then bike no?
You have to go inside. I'll start here, okay?
Okay. And another thing which many aspiring filmmakers would love, that is, this camera has a tripod mount. Yes, you can put it, screw it to a tripod or a handheld, thing. So this way, you don't have to have the case on it all the time, and this is a very, very useful, handy, and also a professional feature. Now, another feature which neither my Hero 4 Session has, nor the SJ5000 has, nor the SJ4000 has, nor the LE Phone Explorer has. That is a mic. I mean, not the onboard mic, but an external mic connectivity, which is absolutely important for motorcycle video logging. Yes. I mean, most of my friends, viewers are moto vlogging fans and they aspire to become good moto vloggers. And without having an external mic which can be connected to your camera where you can speak while riding, well, this or any camera would not be a complete setup for motovlogging. So here you see this one has a USB port. Okay, this is where you can buy third-party microphones on any of the websites. You can go on to Amazon, eBay, or wherever, or you can even check it on gearbest.com and even sjhd.com and buy a mic. Would not be expensive. You can buy it probably for $15 or so, and if you wish to spend more money, you can spend as much money as you want. So an external mic is very important, as I said, and this camera has it. And now storage. Yes, usually budget action cameras or affordable action cameras support only 32 GB storage, and when you're shooting at high resolutions at 60 frames per second, 32 is not always enough, because it is enough for one ride where you go on a ride, shoot, but the moment you get back home you would have to transfer the footage onto your computer. That is not always convenient, or if you're touring, it is definitely not convenient. So this camera scores very high in that department, because this has a support up to 128 GB. Yes, a small memory card going here can support up to 128 GB, and these days 128 GB cards are not very expensive. You can buy a 128 GB card on about 3,500 rupees. So it would be awesome. Just put it in and keep recording ton of footage on 4K. Okay, so let me first hop onto this motorcycle. Whoop. I love the absolute analog system, and the kickstart feels really cool to kickstart a motorcycle. And we are almost at the end of the video, but no review is complete without speaking about and not so good things about any product, that is critical review. So here there are very few points which I find as not so good things, and one of them is, as I already mentioned, the battery. I wish the battery performed better, but let us put more testing into it. And also you can buy additional batteries, so that is not a concern which would rule out the option of buying this camera. And next is the onboard mic. The onboard mic which this camera has is not up to the level which I personally love, because very often what I do is I just hold the camera like this without the casing and I vlog. I talk to the camera when I'm touring, when I'm on a holiday. So in that case the audio is not very satisfactory. I'll put a clip of me talking directly to the camera. Hey buddies, so it's me and Pratik from Tectonic Tech Reviews, and what are we doing now? We are looking right into the SJCam 6 Legend and talking. And why are we doing this? Because we are recording and testing our voice audio with the onboard microphone.
So this is how it sounds, guys. If you have any complaints or issues, or if you want to tell us how does it sound compared to other cameras, do comment down below. As Vikas said that it sounds it doesn't sound that great, but you can add an external mic for it if you want good sound out of this camera. You can try that too, but do tell us how does it sound now. We are not using any extra additional microphone to this camera. Do tell us how does it sound.
Alright friends, that's it. And I like to vlog using an action camera. I don't like to vlog using a huge DSLR or huge cameras, because it's so convenient, and also in case it slips from your hand and falls, an action camera is not going to break. Pricing, the most important factor. Doesn't matter how good or how capable a camera or a product is, but if it's not priced well, who is going to buy it, correct? So that is where this camera, I think, scores really well. You can let me know if you find the pricing to be good or not. This camera on Amazon.in in India is priced at about 16,000 rupees. On Flipkart, it's slightly lesser. And as always, I would rather buy it from gearbest.com or buy it from SJHD.com. So you can check it. The links, I put up the links in the description of this video. That's it, friends. Let me know if you want me to review more tech products. I can do it. And also do check out my friend's channel, that is Tectonic Tech Reviews. And if you're not subscribed to me, you're missing out on about 440 videos. Thank you, friends. Do think about subscribing to me. Cheers. Bye-bye.